I never got to meet my great-grandfather, Frank Rush. In fact, no one I know in the family did, since Frank died in 1934. I do know he was a commercial baker, and he left behind a few artifacts, including his handwritten cookbook. I'm boiling down and making Frank's recipes as a tribute to him and to other family members that we'll never get to meet. I'm Tom Mattingly, and this is Baking with Frank. So today we're celebrating a milestone. Today is our 25th episode of Baking with Frank. So a huge thank you to all of you for sticking along with me as we do this. And here's to many more. But because it's our 25th episode, we're making silver cake, or as Frank wrote it, sliced silver cake. Now, I had to Google that one because, you know, I've heard all about the silver and I understand it cures everything. But silver cake is effectively a white cake, where a gold cake is a yellow cake, the difference between being the inclusion of the egg yolks versus the egg whites. Now, I did crack a bunch of eggs, and you'll notice there's a little yellow in there. That's because, well, there's an accident. So it's mostly silver. All right, so we are going to get started here. Oh, hang on, stay with me. Didn't know I was gonna do that, did you? All right, and we are going to cream a 1/4 pound of butter, to which we'll then add a 1/4 pound of sugar. So we're gonna get that rolling. I'm not gonna make you listen, so I'll see you in a minute. All right, so to the butter and sugar, we're now going to add a 1/4 pint, that's about 4, egg whites with a little bit of egg yolk. All right, that's foaming up nicely. So we're gonna add in a 1/4 pint, and that's a little more than a 1/2 cup. I'm probably at closer to 3/4 of a cup. But anyway, 1/4 pint of milk. Now, in this case, wait, look at me. In this case, I actually have whole milk because we had it in the house. So, using whole milk on this one, but 1/4 pint going in, give it a stir. And in that milk, there's a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract, because we know I like almond. Okay, so we're going to add 0.4375 pounds of all-purpose flour. Now, you ask how I got there. Well, it started out as 1 3/4 pounds of flour, and I cut it down. But I used a calculator, so I'm going for like 7.5 ounces. And I was very excited because I got a new set of weights, vintage weights for the scale, right? But all of them are greater than what this is. So we're just gonna use the slidey one. So here we go. 7.5 ounces, right about there. Get that out of the way. This goes in. And we're gonna stir it. And while that's stirring, I'm gonna add in a 1/4 ounce of baking powder. Scraping down the sides of the bowl. Things are starting to creep up on us here. Now I'm hoping that I can get a couple of layers out of this, because I took our buttercream recipe, which, as we all know, is a frosting, and certainly not a candy, not. But anyway, scraping this down, we're gonna give it a little bit more of a stir. Then we're gonna get it in the oven. Well, we're gonna get it in the pans. and then we're gonna get it in the oven. And then we're gonna cake. All right, so here's our pan. Here's some batter going into said pan. Let's see what we got here. There might just be enough for 2 layers. There might be thin layers, but I'm okay with that. All right, I only prepared 1 pan because I wasn't quite sure, but looks like it might be okay. All right, so I'm gonna put another pan together, get that up in the pan, get it in the oven. Cake. So while I'm putting this in the pan and you're busy hitting the like and subscribe buttons, which if you do that, I'd be most grateful. I will let you know that, I think I might have already said that. Anyway, if I didn't, I'm gonna say it again. Made up some buttercream last night, just a little ahead of time, to save us time today, using our famous buttercream recipe. I think I did tell you this, but it's chocolate buttercream, so that we can have, you know, chocolate. Because chocolate is objectively delicious. If you're not aware of this, you certainly are now. This layer is going to be pancake thin. I'm not mad at it. Preheated the oven to 350. We're going to bake these, in a perfect world, about 30 minutes. Since they're kind of thin, I'm going to check them at 15. And we'll go from there. So, just to prove the dogs are still around. There they are. But, here we are. Here we are. Anyhow, 15 minutes seem to be the trick. They are a little thin. I bet you they'll still hold chocolate frosting the same. So, I let the cakes cool. One of them came out just fine. That was the thicker one. The thinner is just not cooperating. So we're going to do an experiment and just see if brute force does it. Oh, hey, look at that. All I had to do was say brute force. Hell yes. Pancake thin. We're going to let them cool. Then we're going to frost. Then we're going to cake. All right, so here is the chocolate buttercream, not a candy, that I made last night. We're going to take the larger of the two, which is now cooled. They smell good. Let's hope they taste good. And plop on some frosting here. I was, totally expecting that these would be normal size layers. So there's probably too much frosting here because that's a thing, not. So there might be a lot of frosting. But we're going to get these in good nick, as they say. I don't know anyone that says that. We're going to get these frosted up. This is moving around a little bit. I think it's a disco cake. And because this is just, fascinating, I'm sure, I'll go ahead and do the second one and come back when we got cake. All right, here we are. 25th episode. Look, there's a spot that I missed. 25th episode cake. Now we're gonna do the good part of cake. We're gonna taste it. Here we are. It's going in. This is not the worst cake I've ever had. It's not the best. But I'd totally make it again, just double it, so that I had 2 regular layers. Frosting spectacular. Yeah, this will do. Happy 25, y'all. Like it, follow it.